want to bring this country into chaos.
Honorable member, take note. You may check the hazards even. Resume your seat, please. You may check the hazards even in the previous parliaments. The president's honor of a speech does not recognize the name of the leader of opposition. That's how it has been. Or leader of the house. This president only recognizes the Speaker of the House. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker. I'm not trying to undermine your narration, but my representation, which I'm saying here, I'm asking individuals who are fighting for this fight they are doing. It's a simple thing. To be a leader is something which, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or God Almighty bestows on you, it comes easily. I'm one of the persons. I started politics when I was 37 years. I was kicked left and right. Alhamdulillah, I must praise God to say, at my now old age, here I am. I'm 61 years. I started the game at 8 years old. So my message is to say, you young people, you have time. This is nothing. Don't hold the country on ransom. We are not doing good to the leadership, to His Excellency the President. He is waiting this House to pass this budget with both sides. That's my plea. I'm saying this to the leadership, the other side, leader of the opposition, the Speaker, the head of state. Let this thing, humbly, I ask the leadership of this country, humbly, within 12 hours or 24 hours, this thing must stop, because the president has a big work to do. We want to ask him to feed the thousands and thousands of people who are facing hunger, not because he is a president. There are national calamities. Floods have been there, droughts have been there. So I was not prepared to make my contribution today. But I was not prepared. But the situations have told me, you know both sides. I don't belong to the caucuses. I always represent my people in my constituency and those poor Malawians. Let me tell you, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, during lunch hour I was in town. I met a young man. He must be from Mchinji. The tongue, the way I heard it is something like from Mchinji. My apologies if I've offended you. This man, this young boy asked me to say, Honorable, because my number has got a number plate, can I join you and eat memo at Parliament? A man who is selling groundnuts, he doesn't know anything. What does that mean? It means that young man, he has seen that we have left to do our work which we are supposed to do to the communities. Now we are having our own things. Now to Sona. I think my message has got everybody within this country. Let me recommend the president on the mega farms. But usually when I've been standing here, I've been saying I think now it's better the government, through the Minister of Agriculture, we should resume what was happening during Dr. Banda's time on farmer clubs. These mega farms, it's only those areas like in the north, part of southern region, a few places in the southern region, but the majority of people, their hectareage is very small. So if we can start on these clubs, those strong people, they will be able to get and produce enough food. That's the way we are going to get rid of this hunger which is haunting Malawi almost every day. On AIP, it's high time now. It's not benefiting the majority of the local people in the community. I will tell you what has been happening in my area. People, they go there with their IDs. Hundreds and hundreds. Their names are there, legitimate people, but their fertilizer has been taken by somebody else. We take this issue to police, at Selema police. We take them at Taja police. When we tell them, these people, sometimes even you get the phone number which has redeemed that, but the police cannot even arrest the people. Which means now this thing is overdue. Let us change these things now to farm clubs if we are to get rid of this hunger. On education, I want to, because when the president was also delivering on his SONA, there was a lot of effort which the president was talking about education. But if some areas were deprived of things like secondary schools, I've been hearing about secondary schools, 250 secondary schools, since I came into this house in 2019. And every constituency were allocated one secondary school. You go to that particular minister to ask him, he says, okay, first phase, second phase, fourth phase. When is this secondary school of Machinga Northeast, which we had already identified the place, when are you bringing this secondary school into our constituency? Second one is on primary and secondary schools. In my constituency, there's almost 20 primary schools which sit on manable exams. It's very pathetic to say people, they write exams on their knees. We don't have desks almost in 20 primary schools. And the teachers, sometimes you go to a certain primary school, you see there is over 2,000 pupils, but there are only 10 teachers. Would like to ask the Minister of Education to consider Machinga Northeast on teachers. On top of that, even you get a school where there are over 20 teachers, but you get only teachers' chairs.
With those few remarks.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker. I acknowledge that. On another issue is on energy. Today, everybody here can agree to say energy is one of the weapons for economic empowerment of individuals in schools, business, whatsoever, you can mention them. As I'm talking, in Selema Trading Center, Nyambi Health Center is almost 6 months without any light because the transformers had bursted long time ago. We have knocked this door, we have knocked this door. I must thank the Minister of Energy, had directed me to those people, but now I have stopped to say no, the Honorable Minister will take me like we are dealing in friendly. So I'm bringing in this house to say, the leadership of this country should know to say, in my constituency, especially Nyambi Health Center, which is serving almost 30,000 people, 6 months without right. On health centers, please, the Honorable Minister of Health considers on the 900 health posts which you promised the phases, I think now is our turn to have that phase in our constituency. Lastly, I had a lot to say, but lastly, on gender, I would like to ask the Minister of Gender to make a deliberate policy in connection with Minister of Agriculture. When they're bringing this, it should be the Department of Dodma. In my constituency, I've got almost 400 disabled people. When you go to Tukulavakomo, they are not there. AIP, they are not there. On relief food, they are not there. I want this particular Ministry of Gender to have a deliberate policy that wherever within the constituency they should have proper statistics. And these people must be assisted, as I see these are the genuine people who need to be assisted on different services which the government is offering to the people. Now I want to sit, if what I've said has offended anybody else, it's my right as a member of parliament in this cohort to express it. You have time, you can take them off and still you'll be Mr. John, Mr. blah, blah, blah. I'm humbled. I humbly second the SONA. Thank you very much, Right Honorable. Support.
You
I humbly support. Wholeheartedly support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, the people of Machinga Northeast. Lower West.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing the people of Lower West to make a contribution on the SONA as ably delivered by His Excellency, the President, Dr. Lazarus Makafe Chakwera. Right Honorable Speaker, I stand excited in this House because when I was listening to the SONA, that particular SONA, it resonated very well with the expectations of the people of Senior Chief Kayembe and Senior Chief Dzole. Right Honorable Speaker, the President in his SONA alluded to the fact that the people of Kasia, the people of Malembo, indeed the people of Nambuma and Chimwaza, have suffered quite a lot for a number of years, despite their respective MPs, including my predecessor, standing in this House requesting day and night a provision in the budget to include an improvement of Chimwaza Nambuma Kasia Road that passes through Malembo and Chisepo. The mere fact that this particular road has been captured in the SONA, it gives hope to us. We think that our challenges in terms of transportation of our crop produce to the markets will now come to an end. And this is not just a mere fact that should not go unnoticed. We had engagements with the President on this, and we had engagements with our dear Honorable Minister of Transport, Honorable Jacob O'Hara, when both of these made commitments that the people of Nambuma, Kayembe, Chimwaza would be supported. We did not believe that it would happen. But now we have hope because it has been captured in the SONA, and we hope it will also be featuring very highly in the budget. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, I wanted through you to submit to the Honorable Minister and indeed to the President that Senior Chief Dzole and Senior Chief Kayembe are very appreciative for this kind gesture. And that road, as I've already mentioned before, it is very strategic politically, it is very strategic economically, and for your information, First Deputy Speaker, Ndika Damboland is full of gypsum. The President talked about mining, which is a very strategic area to support economic growth of this area. If we want to develop our country, if we want to ensure that we export more and generate more forex, one of the areas that we should invest in is the mining sector. So we think that by improving this particular road, Chimwaza, Nambuma, Malembo, Kasia Road, we should be able to quickly mine our minerals at Livuno and transport to the processing plants, which I think in the near future should be positioned in Lilongwe, so that we are seen to be exporting finished products. So I wanted to actually commend the President and the Minister of Finance, including the Minister of Transport, for this kind of gesture. But what I wanted to pray on this particular road, First Deputy Speaker, is that it's a long stretch. It's a long stretch that is cutting across Chimwaza, Nambuma, Kayembe, Chisepo, Malembo, up to Kasia. My request is that we should be able to recruit 2 contractors, so that one contractor should start from Chimwaza, passing through Karonga, Dangalilo, Nambuma, up to Chisepo, while another one should be able to start from Kasia, cutting across Malembo, then it comes to Chisepo. That way we should be able to complete this particular project as quickly as possible. First Deputy Speaker, I want to mention about an issue related to generation of job employment and employment opportunities. First Deputy Speaker, we know that more than 50% of this country is youthful, and these particular youths, they need employment. And the government has been generating employment in a number of sectors, including labor export. To me, labor export is very, very dear. I was privileged to have been included on the delegation that went to Israel, just to appreciate how our youths that have gone to Israel are doing in various areas where they are working. Right Honorable Speaker, First Deputy Speaker, it is very important for us as a country, and indeed for us as Parliament, to quickly demand that as soon as possible our government should be able to sign a government-to-government general agreement, because this is very key. The initial arrangement was that the labor export to Israel was supposed to expire on 31st January because it was an emergency. But now an opportunity has arisen for us as government to quickly sign this particular agreement so that the labor export is actually happening within a general framework that is agreed upon by the two governments. So it's my plea, especially to the Minister of Labor. This issue has to be treated with the agency it deserves, and I hope there will be effective communication and collaboration between Minister of Labor, Minister of Finance, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Otherwise, we have so many youths that have already processed their documents, but they are just waiting for the documentation to happen as quickly as possible. That's the plea, First Deputy Speaker. First Deputy Speaker, thank you. First Deputy Speaker.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
First Deputy Speaker, I want to come to an issue about the support that the President is actually providing in terms of development to a number of areas, to a number of districts, a number of regions, regardless of political affiliation. As I'm standing right now, we know that the southern region of this country was actually affected by Cyclone Freddy 2 years ago, including last year. The President decided in his wisdom, with his government ministers, that the priority in terms of economic recovery, focusing on repairing and sustaining the infrastructure that was damaged, should focus on the southern region. As we are speaking right now, I know that rehabilitation of very strategic infrastructure is actually happening in the southern region. The railway from Marka to Blantyre is actually under construction. This is a very commitment coming from a leader that is setting aside any political interests, but looking at the economic interests, putting those particular economic interests ahead. Right Honorable Speaker, even in my constituency, Right Honorable Speaker, we have managed to complete construction of Sindea Bridge. For so long, the people of Chilimimba, the people of Sindea Lipili, including the people of Undika, suffered a lot. But by the mere fact that the CDF was actually raised from around 30 million to now 100 million, enabled the people of Lower West to set aside resources and construct the bridge on our own, because the President is saying, here are the resources, can you go and implement strategic projects, but account for each and every resource that you spend. And that's what we are doing, First Deputy Speaker. Not only that, we managed to construct Indika Bridge, we managed to construct Samuel Bridge, and of course we have also managed to construct Kaundu Bridge. These are very, very strategic bridges. First Deputy Speaker, I know you have passed across. If you come just now, I think it may be after we rise, you come to Mlengwe, just to greet people. You pass through a very beautiful bridge that has been constructed by this government. So we don't need any other government. We don't need any other leader apart from Dr. Lazarus Chakwera, because he's delivering. When he says it, when he directs his ministers and indeed the MPs here, we actually take necessary action to operationalize the guidance that has been provided. Indeed, Right Honorable Speaker, as I'm winding up, through CDF, economic empowerment, we have managed to release resources to women clubs at Indika, women clubs at Sindeya, women clubs at Mantimba, at Mlengwe, at Dzole, at Mwachiswa, with startup funds for them to engage in an economic enterprise. Very soon, you should be able, Right Honorable Speaker, to buy eggs from my constituency, because the president is actually on a regular basis increasing the CDF, in which a budget for the youths, a budget for women economic empowerment has been embedded for us to support our people. Lastly, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, it's an issue about water. I wanted to commend the Honorable Minister of Water Development. She came to my constituency, including her deputies. They came to my constituency. They promised our people that they are going to drill boreholes across the constituency. We have already seen 5 boreholes fully constructed. And they also promised that we will have piped water at Dzole, at Nambuma, and at Chisebo. So it's my plea to this ministry that please set aside resources for dam construction. Please set aside for development of piped water scheme, so that we should be able to use the dams for mat purposes. We want to engage into irrigation. We want to engage into rural water supply. This can only be possible if we have adequate budget. And with the commitment of the president and the ministers, we think that this is our time for us to fully supply piped water at Chisebo, fully supply piped water at Dzole, and fully supply piped water at Nambuma. With these few remarks, I support the SONA. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member from Dowa West. We always cherish your contribution, full of energy, full of insights. Thank you so much, Dowa West. Leader, you're standing. But there was a point of order that I wanted to recognize. Lilongwe Southeast, point of order.
Your Honor, First Deputy Speaker, I just wanted to find out, is it in order for the member who has just resumed his seat to start debating on a report which has not been tabled in this House, specifically on the Israel trip? Because last sitting, one of the members who was on that delegation, Cholo Central, laws in this House to insinuate that the young Malawians who were going to Israel were going there to be involved in a war, to be in the forefront to fight. Is it in order that the good news can be shared in the absence of the member from Cholo Central? Because I feel that member from Cholo Central was supposed to withdraw the sentiments he made in this House, that the kids, the young ones who are going to Israel, were going there to fight in the war. But the president of this country, recognizing that he is a man enough, he even identified him and took him in a plane to Israel to witness that those young ones are not fighting, but they are working for the good of this nation. So is it in order that the member from Dowa can come in this House, start touching on that report, when the member who cheated this country is out of this House? Is it in order, Your Honor, the First Deputy Speaker?
Leader.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. I wanted to appreciate you and the Right Honorable Speaker, the manner she chaired proceedings, and yourself. and also want to appreciate the leader of opposition and the UDF leader for their presentation this morning, but not forgetting our own Treasurer General, Ncheu Central, for, I don't need to recognize party positions in the House. So I wanted to add so many able people, including the last speaker. I can't mention one by one, but they've done a very good job to save Malawians. And the First Deputy Speaker, I want to agree with the Mwanza, the Chair for Public Appointments, who said we are sent here to serve our people, not to serve ourselves. And for that reason, we need to remember that it's a duty called upon us by Malawians, but also just to say that when we come here, First Deputy Speaker, we use taxpayers' money. We don't use our resources. So even if you cook a memo, that memo is being cooked on taxpayers' money. If you drive out to town, that is done using taxpayers' money. So all of us should be mindful that when we are elected and come here, it is not for our interest, but the interest of Malawians at large. And for that reason, we should be mindful whether we are serving Malawians better. And Malawians are better judges. Tomorrow, Wednesday, we shall deal with reports. Time permitting, we shall also be able to deal with SONA. I thank you and good evening.
Thank you so much, Leader, for the information shared. Before we do adjourn, I have an announcement from the Speaker's office. It's a lengthy one, so I urge you to pay attention. You will recall, honourable members, that some members of this House were ordered out of the chamber by the Chair under Standing Order 105. The members were ordered to come back to the House on Thursday, 15th February 2024. However, it has been brought to the attention of the Office of the Speaker that the expelled honour members and some who were not part of the expansion under Standing Order 105-6 are camping at the main gate of the precincts of Parliament. Please note that the members who have not been expelled are absenting themselves from the chamber today without seeking leave of the Speaker's office. I repeat, it's only those 24 members who were given marching orders that are supposed to be out of the chamber for 2 days. Any of those not on the list, you are absenting Parliament without taking sick leave of the Speaker. Honourable members, I wish to state as follows. A, continued misbehavior by any member which can be construed as a direct disobedience to the Speaker's authority and an attempt to disrupt procedures is grossly unparliamentary and can attract further sanctions. B, it is an offence under our standing orders as well as the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act to deliberately obstruct or molest a fellow member of Parliament or staff in the discharge of a member or officer's duty. And C, under Standing Order 194, the action by the expelled honourable members by blocking the main gate amounts to obstruction of the House, since that action alone has the potential of obstructing other members from attending Parliament or leaving Parliament after adjournment. Honour members, by physically blocking the main gate to the Parliament building, the relevant members are breaking the law as provided for in the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act, and appropriate action will be taken against them. Further, the members who were not part of the expansion order and have decided not to be in the House but to sit outside the main gate should also realize that appropriate standing orders will be invoked in full in order to sanction the absenteeism. I thank you. On behalf of Right Honorable Catherine Godanhara, here it is. It is slightly past 5. House adjourned.
That is how business has concluded today in the chamber. The deliberations today began with a motion moved by the leader of the House requesting that all relevant standing orders be waived in order to allow the members debate on the President's State of the Nation address. The motion was passed, and since morning the members have been debating on this State of the Nation address delivered by His Excellency the State President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera last Friday, 9th February 2024. Among other members that came to debate on the floor of the House are Honorable Joyce Chitulo, member of Mwanza West, who made a contribution on the SONA. The Speaker also recognized Honorable Enoch Pale of Salima Northwest, Honorable Ulemu Chilapondwa of Nchisi South, Honorable Rachel Mazombwe of Nchinji North, among others. And upon completion of the business today, the Speaker announced that tomorrow, which is Wednesday, 14th February 2024, Parliament is going to commence at 2 o'clock. Ndiyetu mene mundi menezo kambirana kuno kunyumba ya malamulo zaendela lelo pa 13th February 2024. Ndiyetu kuchokera mawa moja phunga tamba zokambirana za lero zidayamba ndi pempho lomwe lidachoka ko otsogolera zokambirana nyumbayi, omwe adapempha kuti nyumbayi yambe yasiya zina zonse kuti aunikepo pa zomwe mtsogoleri wa dziko lino adayankhula nyumbayi sabata latha lachisanu pomwe amatsekulira mkumano umenewu. Ndiyetu aphungu osiyanasiyana kuyambira kumawako kufika na pamene Parliament yamaliza kukumana akhala ndithu akuyikapo maganizo awo pa zomwe mtsogoleri adayankhula mnyumbayi. Mwaena amene adapatsidwa mwayi kuyankhulapo mnyumbayi ndikuphatikiza olemekezeka Honorable Joyce Chitulo amene wanda aphungu wa Mwanza West, komanso aspikala adadzapatsaponso mwayi kwa olemekezeka Enoch Pale ku Salima North, komanso Ulemu Chilapondwa ku Nchisi South, komanso olemekezeka Rachel Mazombwe ku Nchinji North constituency. Ndiyetu mene mundi mene ndithu zokambirana ku nyumba ya malamulo lero zatsirizira. Mawa lino tikuyembekeza kuti aphunguwa akhaleso nyumbayi kudzapitiriza zokambirana pa nthawi ya 2 koloko masana. Ine dzina langa ndi Patricia Whiskes, ndikupempheni kuti tikumanenso limodzi pompano mawa nthawi ya 2 koloko pamene aphunguwa apitirize zokambirana zawo. Pitirizani kuonera kanema ya Parliament.